to Supershea Tutorials. I'm Danny Shea, back with another weapons tutorial video. Today we're going to cover some basic concepts for people that have never touched a set of commas before. So if you want to improve your skills, learn some sick tricks, put together some high power forms, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell down below. If you are interested in helping the Supershea Tutorial project continue being able to make videos in the future, there's a link in the description. You can join up on my Patreon channel for as little as $3. And real quick, gotta say thank you to the people that have done so. So thank you Rob, Bob, Brian, Jorge, Emmett, and Charlene. You all are the backbone of this project. So let's get to this. So for starters, the very first thing that you want to consider is the weapon itself. You know, what type of weapon are you going to want to use? So typically everybody's going to want to go after the one that they absolutely love. The really cool, high gloss looking ones like these. Unfortunately, those are also the expensive ones. You know, ridiculously expensive. But in the end, when it comes down to it, if you are just beginning, you need to understand that your weapon is going to take a beating. You're going to drop it. It's going to fall all over the place. You know, you're going to be banging them together and all kinds of things are going to happen to it. So your first set, I don't recommend making, the high dollar set. Couple of options that you do have, for instance, these, I believe we get these from Century Martial Arts. Really good beginner commas. The one thing that I like about these versus some of the other comma variants is that they're really light. They're lightweight, they move well. As far as, going other places, AWMA has their beginner ones. We also use those. They're plastic and they're really nice as well. You can pretty much find them any martial arts outlet. The one thing that I would say though is don't get the really heavy ones. They're going to be discouraging. You're not going to feel like they're moving the way they should, and if you hit yourself with them, it's really going to hurt. So the next thing that you want to pay attention to is your basics, the fundamentals. Make sure you get your movements down correctly at the base level. All right, I kind of talked about this a couple weeks ago on Monday Motivation for basics. It's the lowest possible level. Well, the lowest possible level for us is going to be our basic strikes and our stances. So we want to focus really deeply on those to start with, because that's the foundation, the essential foundation that you need to build to get into really forms and tricking and all that other kind of stuff that we do with them. So when you start out, just know right off the bat, you're going to have chop, you're going to have punch, you're going to have front stance, you're going to have middle stance, you're going to have back stance. Make sure you get really good at those basic skills before you really delve into the tricking thing, because that is really where the foundation is. If you don't have a good foundation, the building will crumble. Thirdly, when you get into tricking, you're just starting out, first trick, second trick, whatever. But when you're early stage of tricking, be wary of your mindset, because it's really easy to get discouraged. Especially, if you're trying to do something that you're not used to doing, your weapon is going to fall, it's going to go all over the place, you're going to feel like, I'm just not getting this. I don't know if I can do this. I just want to set these things down and I'll forget all about it. Don't do that, because you are robbing yourself of one of the greatest things in the world. I get to see this day in and day out. I'm extremely blessed in the fact that I get to teach karate for a living. But every time I teach somebody their first trick, at first they're really apprehensive because they've never done anything like this, and it sounds like a daunting task. But as soon as they nail that first move and they see that trick happen right in their hand, they're like, and you see this huge light pop up, and they're like, oh my God, that was awesome. That is what you are trying to get to. You're trying to get that feeling every single trick you get to. So please, please, please don't get discouraged. Know in advance, your weapon's gonna fall. You're going to hit yourself with it. I'm gonna put this plainly, you're gonna suck for a while. All right, I'm sorry to put it that way, but you will. It's the nature of everything. Every time I try to learn a new trick, I'm awful at the beginning. But over the course of time, I have learned that the more I do this, the more I practice, the better I get. And eventually I will nail down the trick. I will get that sensation of, oh my God, when I land it the first time. And then from that point on, it's just grinding to make it consistent. Consistency is key. So make sure you stick with it, no matter what else happens. Lastly, when you start getting into high-level tricking, this is a tough scenario to discuss because it's a hard concept to understand. But your form is a performance, your kata, whatever you want to call it. It is a performance. So many, many times I see a lot of people, really, really talented people, and they're moving at this blazing speed, but you can hardly tell what they're doing. Your performance has to have pauses. It has to have stop moments. It has to have feeling and energy to it, a rhythm, a cadence. There's all these things that need to go in line with your kata. So as you are coming up from, never touching a set of kamas, or never touching a sword, or never touching whatever, as you're coming up from that, make sure your basics are strong, make sure you're good on your stances, and make sure you start to pinpoint where it is you want to put your pause points, where you want to have your power moves, versus where you want to put your speed moves, because it needs to have a mixture of all of those. And you need to treat it as though it's an acting performance. All right, you wouldn't, or even a musical piece. You would not hear a musical piece with guitars just blazing. It'd just be called noise. It wouldn't be called music anymore. What makes music music is the stops in between. All right, so think of it in those terms, and then you can build an amazing kata, an amazing form, an amazing combo. Even if it's just that. So those are the main things that I really, really think need to be paid attention to on the way up. I did not have the advantage of this type of knowledge when I started learning. It was just kind of, I grab a weapon and I'm like, okay, I want to do something with this. But I'm hoping that in turn, this will help you on your way up become even better than me. Do things that I can't do yet. And maybe even teach me some of them. But that is the purpose. I'm hoping that this helps you out along the way. Last week we finished up our kama form. Next week, I'm going to do a full tutorial on the entire form. We did it in 5 sections before. I'm going to put the whole thing together. So if you're interested in learning that form, consider hitting the subscribe button, and to make sure you don't miss it, the notification bell is the best way. I've had several people tell me, you know what, I didn't get a notification that this was out. I had no idea. And then, the best way to do that is just hit that bell, and then there will be a little pop-up. Click all, it'll pop a notification anytime I post a video, and you won't miss any of the action. I also do my Monday motivation videos on Monday to kind of help start the week really, really strong. And I do YouTube Shorts videos to kind of show you how all this stuff goes together as we're learning tricks. So check those out as well. Check out a few other videos on here. And, well, you guys know how to use the internet. Just push the buttons, as Michelle Smith would always say. But thank you all for being here. I hope you all have a phenomenal day.